In addition to being involved with more than 300 charities, she carries out more events than any other royal, and carries with her that sense of responsibility passed on from her mother, the Queen.
The entire UK is in shock. Crowds stood frozen as Princess Anne left Edinburgh Castle, her goodbye leaving even royal staff in tears. No one saw it coming. As she waved one final time, it felt like the end of something much bigger. What happened inside the castle that made this farewell so heartbreaking? A legacy of unwavering service. Princess Anne has spent more than 50 years serving the royal family and the people of the United Kingdom. She has always been calm, strong, and focused. While others in the royal family have had ups and downs, Anne has stayed steady. She has worked hard every single year, never looking for praise or attention. She attends over 400 events and official duties every year. That is more than many other royals. From meeting soldiers to visiting hospitals and helping charities, she has always shown up. She keeps her schedule full and treats every event with care. People know they can count on her. Anne is known for her serious and professional way of working. She doesn't get distracted by fame or media. Instead, she does her job with quiet strength. She believes in doing what is right and staying true to her role. Her efforts have earned respect from many people across the country. While some royals have stepped away from their roles or changed their plans, Anne has stayed loyal. She accepts every task given to her and gives her best. She keeps moving forward even when others around her are slowing down or facing trouble. That has made her a symbol of dedication and stability. Many people see her as the quiet support behind the royal family. She helped Queen Elizabeth through many difficult times. She has always been close to her family and often helps in the background. Her steady presence gives strength to the people around her. Anne has also raised her children with strong values. Zara Tyndall, her daughter, is polite and humble. Anne chose not to give royal titles to her children. She wanted them to have a normal life. This shows how she thinks carefully about her role and her family. Anne's life has been full of service. She never complains and never stops. She works hard, speaks kindly, and respects every duty. People admire her for being strong, simple, and reliable. She shows up, gets the job done, and then moves on to the next one. But even the strongest people can reach their limit. Something was about to change that would shake Anne to her core. The departure from Edinburgh. Princess Anne leaving Edinburgh Castle came as a surprise. Many people never thought this day would come. She lived there for many years. It was a big part of her life. The castle was more than a place to stay. It was where she worked, rested, and spent quiet moments. Now that she has left, everything feels different. The castle had always felt strong and calm because of her. She met guests, supported charities, and attended events from that very place. She followed a routine and stayed true to her role. She always knew what needed to be done. Her steady way of doing things shaped how the staff worked. Now, the halls feel quiet, and people are still trying to adjust. The staff felt the goodbye deeply. Many of them had worked with her for years. They knew her well and respected her. She spoke to them kindly and always remembered names. She cared about people. She was firm when needed, but she was fair. Some of them cried when she left. They felt like they were saying goodbye to someone very close. There were quiet hugs, soft words, and many tears. She had been a strong part of their lives. Every morning they waited for her footsteps, her voice, and her smile. Now there is silence. The castle does not feel the same. People miss her. Her way of doing things brought order and peace to the place. Princess Anne worked hard every day. She kept going even when things were tough. She never complained. She never stopped. She gave her time and energy without asking for anything back. People around her saw this and felt inspired. She brought calm during difficult times. Her presence made others feel safe. For the royal family, her departure brings a big change. She always supported King Charles. She stood beside him and helped him carry the weight of his role. She gave advice and kept things steady. She knew how to manage things without making a scene. Now the king has to move forward without her daily support. The royal family is going through many changes. Losing someone like Princess Anne from day-to-day duties will be hard. Her strength and calm voice helped in ways many people never saw. She kept many things in order. Now others will have to try and fill that space. The castle felt empty without her daily presence. But what really happened to make her leave so suddenly? Leading with heart. In her final weeks at Edinburgh Castle, Princess Anne stayed calm and kind. She did not plan a big farewell or make a speech. She chose a quiet goodbye. That is how she lived her whole life, simple and full of care. Every day became part of her way of saying goodbye to the place and the people who mattered to her. Anne followed her normal routine. She woke up early, as she always did, and went for walks around the grounds. These walks helped her enjoy the peace of the castle one last time. She met the staff along the way: gardeners, cleaners, guards, and office workers. She smiled and stopped to talk to them. She thanked them in her soft and polite way. Many had worked with her for many years. These small chats meant a lot to them. She spent time in each room of the castle. She looked at the walls, the pictures, and her books. She stood by the windows and looked out at the trees and gardens. She took her time. There was no rush. She walked slowly and gently. She was saying goodbye in her own way, step by step. Anne gave gifts to her closest staff members. She gave them signed photos and little notes. These notes were short but full of meaning. She wrote them by hand. She remembered small details like birthdays or something someone once told her. Her words were warm. She made each note feel special. The staff felt touched. They were proud to receive something so personal. She also sat down with her team for long talks. They remembered old times. They laughed about things that had happened over the years. Some stories were funny, and some were quiet and thoughtful. These talks were private. They were full of care and respect. The people close to her will remember them forever. The last few days at the castle were quiet. People moved slowly. Some cried softly. Others stayed quiet. Anne walked through the halls again. She hugged some of the staff. She shook hands with others. She gave a smile to everyone. There was no big goodbye, no loud words, just soft moments full of feeling. When it was time to leave, she stepped into her car without fuss. The doors of the castle closed behind her. Staff stood still. They watched her car drive away. It was a simple ending to something very special. Anne left the castle the same way she had lived her life, graceful, thoughtful, and strong. She did not need loud music or large crowds. She gave her heart through actions, not noise. Her goodbye was quiet, but it meant everything. Her quiet goodbye showed the kind of person she had always been. Little did anyone know she had left behind clues about her real reasons, the ripple effect of her decision. When Princess Anne left Edinburgh Castle, many people felt a sudden change. It started quietly, but the feeling grew stronger each day. Her choice to step back from royal life touched not only the castle, but also the whole royal family. Her presence had always brought calm. Without her, everything felt less steady. At the castle, the mood became heavy. Staff members missed her right away. They were used to her kind words and quiet strength. She followed a clear routine, and that helped others stay on track. Now that she was gone, the building felt empty. The rooms were quiet. The people inside moved slower. Some still expected to hear her voice or footsteps. Her goodbye was soft, but the gap she left behind was big. In Scotland, many locals felt the change too. They had seen her often. She attended events, helped charities, and made people feel noticed. People respected her work and her calm way of doing things. News of her departure made people pause. It felt like something important had ended. In London, the feeling was different. There was more pressure. At Buckingham Palace, the team kept working as usual, but people noticed the difference. Some staff members started to feel nervous. Anne had taken on so many tasks without any fuss. Now others had to pick up that work. The load felt heavier. Inside the royal family, things started to shift. King Charles believes in tradition. He likes to keep things the same. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, has other thoughts. She wants to bring in new ways. Her focus is on connecting with people and showing warmth. Anne used to help balance these different views. She understood both sides. Now that she is gone, it has become harder to keep peace. Meetings inside the palace take longer now. People think more before speaking. Some worry about saying the wrong thing. Without Anne, there is no quiet voice to calm the room. She had a way of making people feel steady, even in hard times. The royal family is trying to stay strong. Events are still happening. Smiles appear in public. But behind the scenes, things feel tense. Staff work longer hours. There is more planning and more checking. Everyone wants to avoid mistakes. People feel the weight of doing things right. The public is watching closely. They remember how much Anne gave over the years. Her work was honest, her steps were steady. She never asked for praise, but people saw her effort. Now, with her gone, people are thinking more about what the royal family means. Her decision to leave created waves. Some were small and some were strong. Each one has changed the way the royal family moves forward. The halls feel quieter. The work feels harder. The future feels unsure. The waves of change kept spreading through the royal family. Soon, people would learn there was much more to her story. The hard truth revealed. After Princess Anne left Edinburgh Castle, something surprising came to light. Her private secretary found a plain envelope on his desk. It had his name on it, written in her neat handwriting. The envelope was simple. No royal seal, no titles, just paper and ink. Inside was a small note and a key. The note asked him to open a drawer in her personal study. That drawer had always been kept locked. Only Anne used it. Inside, he found an old brown journal. The leather cover was soft and worn. She had kept it close for many years. Some people had seen it on her desk, next to her tea or books. No one ever touched it. It was private. The journal was full of her thoughts. She wrote often. Her handwriting was steady and clear. Page after page told stories from her life. She wrote about her travels, the people she worked with, and her time at the castle. Her words were calm, but strong. One line stood out. She wrote, "The day everything changed, I knew I had to step away." That sentence said a lot. Something had happened. Something that made her feel different about her role in the royal family. She did not name names. She did not blame anyone, but she explained how things had started to feel wrong. She saw choices being made for the wrong reasons. She felt the royal family was losing its way. She believed in duty. She believed in helping others. But she started to feel like those values were fading. She wrote about long meetings with no clear plans. She noticed more focus on how things looked than on what really mattered. She saw younger royals chasing public approval. They wanted to be liked more than they wanted to serve. She did not say they were bad. She just felt out of place in that world. The journal showed her quiet sadness. She had always been strong and calm, but even she felt tired. She gave her time, her energy, and her heart for years. But she started to feel like her efforts were no longer needed. She also shared moments of hope. She spoke kindly about the staff who stayed loyal. She was proud of the work they did together. but she also felt like it was time to let go. She needed peace. She needed space to breathe. Her words were never angry. They were soft and honest. She did not want attention. She wanted truth. She wanted the royal family to stay strong and kind, but she knew she could not force that to happen. So, she stepped away. Only a few people read the journal. They said it changed the way they saw her. Anne's goodbye was not sudden. It came after a lot of thinking. Her journal told the story behind her quiet exit. Her journal showed a side of Anne that few people knew existed. But there was still one more secret waiting to be found. The hidden royal secret. After Princess Anne left public life, another quiet story began to unfold. This one had been kept hidden for years. It was about a letter written by Queen Elizabeth. She had written it by hand and sealed it herself. On the front it said, "For Anne, only." The letter stayed locked away for a long time. The letter was stored in a special box inside the Queen's private study. Only one person knew where it was. After the Queen passed away, the letter was given to Princess Anne by a trusted staff member. There was no big moment, no cameras, no royal statement. It was private, just a mother leaving her words for the daughter she trusted most. The letter was long and thoughtful. The Queen had always been careful with her words. She had ruled through many hard times. She had seen the world change again and again. But in this letter, she spoke from the heart. She was not writing as a queen. She was writing as a mother. Anne became the keeper of that letter. She never told others what it said. Not King Charles. Not her own children. She placed it in her study beside her journal. Some staff said she often sat with it at night. She would hold a cup of tea, look out the window, and stay quiet for a long time. The letter stayed close. So did its meaning. Many people believe the Queen shared her personal wishes in that letter. She may have written about her hopes for the family and the future of the crown. She may have shared her fears and the things that worried her. She may have written about the royal family's next steps. Anne kept all of that to herself. Anne had always been strong. She knew how to stay quiet when it mattered. She carried her mother's message with care. That message might be the reason why Anne started to step back. She may have wanted to follow the Queen's wishes in her own way. Her slow exit from royal life began after she received the letter. Some choices started to make more sense. Anne left Edinburgh Castle. She kept her distance from certain royal matters. She stayed close to the people she trusted. These small changes may have all been shaped by the words in that letter. The royal family keeps moving forward. But the Queen's letter still sits in Anne's study. Its words are silent, but their weight is strong. They may never be shared. But they live on in Anne's actions, in her choices, and in the way she continues to carry herself. The Queen's letter held words that would stay private forever. These hidden messages helped explain why Anne had served so faithfully for so many years. An excellent track record. Princess Anne has spent her life working hard. Many people say she is the most hard-working member of the royal family. She attends over 400 events every year. These include school visits, charity work, military events, and more. She travels often and speaks to many people. She always listens, shows care, and gives her full attention. She stood beside Queen Elizabeth for many years. The two shared a strong bond. They both believed in duty and staying true to their roles. Anne often helped carry out tasks quietly. She followed a clear path and never stepped away from it. People noticed her calm and steady way of working. When the Queen passed away, Princess Anne stayed close to King Charles. She helped during the change and kept things steady. Her calm presence gave others comfort. She knew what needed to be done and carried out each task with care. She helped guide the royal family through that time with quiet strength. Anne is also known for her love of horses. She trained as a rider from a young age. In 1976, she joined the British team at the Olympic Games in Montreal. She became the first royal to take part in the Olympics. This was a proud moment for the country. Her daughter Zara also became a skilled rider and followed in her mother's footsteps. Anne made a clear choice when it came to her children. She did not give them royal titles. She wanted them to live normal lives and grow up without pressure. Peter and Zara both built their own paths. Zara became a respected athlete. Anne gave her children space and freedom, while also teaching them to stay grounded. Her charity work has touched many lives. She supports over 300 organizations. These include health services, children's groups, and animal care centers. She visits them often and speaks to the people involved. Staff members say she remembers names and details. She takes her work seriously and never rushes through visits. Anne also worked with Save the Children for many years. She traveled to different parts of the world. She met children and families in need. She listened to their stories and helped raise awareness. Her trips to Africa and Asia showed her deep care for people in hard times. Many see her as a quiet but powerful figure. She does not seek the spotlight. She focuses on service. She does the work, and she does it well. People trust her because she stays the same in good and hard times. She keeps her word and follows through on every promise. Her long list of good work spoke for itself, but even someone so devoted could face a challenge that changed everything. The Camila factor. Princess Anne has always believed in duty, loyalty, and respect. These values shaped her life from a young age. When Camilla became part of the royal family, things became difficult for Anne. She never spoke about it in public, but people close to her could see her discomfort. Anne lived through many hard moments in the royal family. One of the most painful times was when Prince Charles and Princess Diana's marriage fell apart. Anne respected Diana's work. Diana cared for people and brought warmth to her role. She worked with charities and always looked present. Anne may not have been close to Diana, but she admired how she handled royal duties. The way things ended between Charles and Diana left a deep mark. Anne believed that marriage should be based on trust and care. She saw how Diana was treated and how the public reacted. These things stayed with her. She found it hard to accept Camilla's growing place in the family, especially knowing the history behind it. Camilla slowly took on more duties. She appeared in more events. Later, she became queen consort. Anne remained calm and respectful, but people noticed she kept a distance. She followed protocol, but did not grow close to Camilla. Her feelings were clear through her actions. Anne saw the royal family as something sacred. To her, it was not only about titles or events, it was about values. She worked for many years to protect those values. When things began to shift, she felt torn. Her role as a sister told her to support the family, but her personal beliefs made things harder. She chose to stay quiet, but the weight of it stayed with her. Watching traditions change so quickly made her feel alone in some ways. She kept her head high, but the change left a scar. Anne never tried to block change. She accepted what came, but deep down, she still held on to the memory of what the royal family once stood for. It was not anger. It was something more quiet and more lasting. Princess Anne's quiet goodbye has touched hearts across the UK. Her legacy of strength and duty will never be forgotten. As the royal family faces new changes, her silence speaks volumes. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more royal updates and deep dives.